They like, hey, where you at? Where you at? Drop a pin, send the addy, yeah, I'm somewhere in the bag. Okay, they like. What's going on, Goals gang? You already know what time it is. It's Tat Goalz, your favorite corporatepreneur, coming back with another podcast episode of Somewhere in a Bag. Today, I have a very, very special guest, my good friend Paul. You might know him as the Lemon Pool Man. He got all the goods in terms of beverages, lemonade to be exact. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and join him to the stream. So make sure y'all give him a warm welcome. Hey
What's
Paul.
going on? What's going on? How are you?
Hey. I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right. All right. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. So as you heard your intro, just to give our listeners or our audience a little context, Paul is a friend of mine that I have met through my affiliate partner, Tatiana from Black Queen City, the uh, biggest networking event series in Charlotte. So I know that pretty much whether he's vending or not, Paul is at every single Black Queen City event. So we definitely appreciate him. And without further ado, Paul, I know I gave him a little sprinkle, but let the people know what do you have for sale? Like what do we got going on in your business?
Well, I appreciate the intro, by the way. But no, I'm just a neighborhood guy. I make homemade lemonade from scratch. Everything that I do, as far as lemonade is concerned, is all natural. I don't use any artificial flavors or powders or anything. I grab real organic lemons, slice them and squeeze them. Granulated sugar and distilled water and mix everything together. And I sell about, I think I'm about 11, 12 flavors strong now. When I started my business, I was only doing two flavors, and I've upped my catalog to 12. So I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, I sell just regular old lemonade. Nothing spectacular. Like I don't put any alcohol in it. I don't put any type of wacky stuff in it. It's just all natural juice, all natural lemonade. You know.
Well, no, I think that is very much spectacular, especially when you go to the store and you got all these glucose, casafa, safa, flablin things
Yeah,
that we can't even pronounce.
yeah. A lot of
So
names
it's
with a lot of alphabets. Yeah.
right, right. And speaking of in stores, so you started out with two flavors and you grew to 12 flavors. You make it from scratch, homemade. I'm pretty sure you probably got some sort of proprietary kind of thing in your recipe, or like do you ever, I guess my question would be, would you ever consider like scaling it to like a big business storefront? Like will we ever, do you think we'll ever see like lemon pool lemonades in like Walmart or your local 7-Eleven or something like that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's like my actual goal is to get into some form of a grocery store at some point. I remember I was reading an article a long time ago about this little girl. I can't remember her name exactly, but she would sit outside of the Whole Foods and she would sell lemonade. I think like a quarter or something, and then over time she became like a young entrepreneur millionaire. So now her brand is actually in the Whole Foods. If you go into the Whole Foods, there's a lemonade. There's a lemonade brand that has a little girl on the bottom. I think she had like a little afro or something, but that same little girl has her stuff in the store. So that was one of my inspirations. And I said, well, I sort of kind of want to get myself out there and get popular and over time. Instead of doing like a food truck or something like that, which a food truck is not a bad idea. I actually still have that as an option, but my main goal is to to get big enough to where I can go into a Walmart, go into a Target, go into a Food Line, so on and so forth. And people see my product and they can say, "Okay, I know this stuff is good." So that's what I'm working toward.
That's sounds like pretty good goals. I was just looking it up. It looks like so she was an 11-year-old. Um, her name is Michaela Ulmer,
Yeah, Michaela. Yeah,
and she scored an $11 million deal with Whole Foods selling her lemonade. Apparently, that's sweetened with honey.
right,
So,
right.
wow, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I definitely see it in your future just because if you haven't had the pleasure of going to a Black Queen City pop-up event and tasting some of Lemon Pool's lemonade, it's amazing. I know he definitely always has a good little line, especially because we have food vendors there a lot. So, and not all of them necessarily have drinks. Then we do have on occasion some um, alcoholic beverages, of course, for 21 and up. Um,
Mm.
but everyone doesn't always want to have a drinky drink. They just want a regular drink,
Yeah.
and that's me most of the time. So I'm always appreciative whenever you attend. I think me personally, I sampled quite a few because I know you let me try a few of them one time. But I want to ask you, what is your favorite flavor out of all your 12? I know it's probably hard to pick, but which one do you think is your favorite flavor?
Well, I guess I had to give a background story on it. So, um,
Okay.
my grandfather passed away back in '07, but when he was alive, he used to make it for the family. And when he made it, he never would tell anybody how he would do it. But I would watch this man. He would get a bag full of lemons, and he would get his bucket, and he would put the bucket between his legs, get his chair, sit down, and he would take each lemon, slice them in his hand, squeeze them in his hand, and drop it in the bucket. Never would measure, added sugar and
Oh,
added water. But we knew if that bucket was in the kitchen, or if we knew if that cooler was outside, it was some lemonade in there. And me being, when I was young, I used to just run to go get it, and everybody would rush to go get it because it was that good. And when he passed away, well, right before he passed away, he showed me sort of kind of what he did. So I kind of took on his tradition and try to, mimic that. And that's really what inspired me to do what I do. And it was my wife's idea, who actually told me you should go in business because everybody loves your stuff. So, you know, one thing led to another, and then I started my business January 31st of 2017. So I've been in business since then, but I've been making lemonade, over 12, 13 years. Now, with that being said, as far as the flavors, my all-time flavor will always be the old-fashioned regular lemonade because that's what I was born and bred with. Um, Going into the flavors, raspberry is like my number one. I think mango behind it. And I'm starting to get a feel for the blueberry. I was scared of blueberry at first, but when I put it out there and I seen the reception I was getting and tearing it up, I was like, I need to try this stuff. So blueberry will be like my third flavor.
okay.
I
So
think
that's basically,
you had pineapple, right?
yeah. I definitely
Yeah.
enjoyed the pineapple. I had a hard time. I always have a hard time picking between. Now I haven't tried all the flavors yet, but I think like of the flavors I've tried, I feel like pineapple and then the mango one. Those
Yeah.
are like my two favorite. And the
Yeah.
old
Okay.
fashioned, like you say, you can never go wrong with old
I never
fashioned.
go wrong with it. Never go wrong with it. So that's like my
Um,
go-to.
so a lot of times, so basically this podcast is centered around like motivation and also entrepreneurial tips and advice that um successful small business owners might have for any aspiring up and coming small business owners or even someone who's been in business for a little while and is just trying to scale. So, speaking of lemons, right? We have like that old adage or that cliche, like when you have lemons, make lemonade, right?
Right. Like the
So I'm
lemons make
always,
lemonade. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm always curious to talk to entrepreneurs about some of their like experiences while building their business, just because I know a lot of us have had some really interesting experiences. So, do you know of like any time that you can think of where you figuratively had to um take some lemons and make lemonade, like any kind of maybe monkey wrench that has been thrown your way along your journey of trying to start and also grow your business?
Well, I know when I first started, just trying to get recognition, um, on a upscale was hard. It was tough because I didn't have the resources and the information and the supplies, so I had to basically improvise a little bit. So I started with people that I knew and told them what I was doing, and I got the support from there. So I was I was using the like the little um, Walmart like 4 ounce, 8 ounce water bottles and taking the um, wrappings off and just putting it in there. And then, the tops and the seals was coming off, but I had to make it work off that. I gave a lot of stuff out for free. And like I said, I was just trying to get my name out there. And then over time, it got better. So my product got better, and that was just through researching and trying to see what bottles work and which seals would work best. And I had to learn how to use um, not use, but I had to pay attention to the life expectancy of it. If you keep stuff at room temperature, the quality of it doesn't stay good very long. So I had to learn how to keep it cold and see how long it will last before it goes bad and let people know that. So, um, and then that led into trying to put a price tag on it. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. So I did just a lot of stuff I did was just word of mouth. And it wasn't until last year when I started to go the social media route. So I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt because I wish I would have did that the first year, because I've got way more success. Doing things on Facebook, doing things on Instagram, going through email and stuff like that, and then reaching out to people who were into marketing, who were into advertising. So um, that was my struggle up until the point where I got to the point where I could utilize people and they can point me in the right direction. Then it got better, So it was a slow process. But I think I'm very grateful where I am, and now that people sort of kind of know who I am, I can walk out and they say, "Hey, I know you," which is great. So
I think that that seems to be like a common consensus, just because a lot of conversations I've had, it simply comes down to trial and error, because
it's always.
you can read all the books you want to read. You can go to YouTube University.
Yep.
You can Google this, Google that, but there's no better teacher than real life experience. So I
Yep.
know a lot of people, their downfall is they want to wait and make sure that things are like extra perfect, everything is lined
Mhm.
up nice and neat, and that's just not realistic. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you're out there and you're thinking of, maybe launching your juice line, hair products, your services, your marketing services, or what have you, the best
Hmm.
way to do it is just to do it. Like
Yep.
Lemon Pool said. So basically the tips or the gems that I took from your process is that you started with your tribe, your surrounding family and friends. You gave out samples, that was probably a hit to your pocket, slightly, financially.
Hmm.
But obviously it was a great return on investment, because, I, having tasted your lemonade, I know that these individuals who tasted it as well were like
Hmm.
me and ended up becoming returning, if not consistent,
Hmm.
customers. And then also, even though trial and error is the best teacher, you cannot completely remove your margin of error, but you can decrease it by
Right.
researching.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah.
and
See, I've learned too. Even with that, what you said was absolutely right on the head. Um, I was that way before. I wanted to wait. I was trying to wait and make sure I had everything lined up and I had all my stuff and I had all my resources and supplies, I wanted to make sure stuff was good, but it was like taking time to get all that stuff. So the more time I was trying to, grab everything, the more time I was not utilizing. So I said, I just need to just put myself out there, and you learn best when you put your hands on it. I mean, like you said, folks can tell you everything and they can give you all the advice in the world and you can read up on stuff, but until you actually do it, then you won't know anything, you won't learn anything. I learned a long time ago. If you do something one time and you get the results you need, it was a success. If you do it and you don't, then you don't count it as a loss. You just count it as a lesson. So learn from where you messed up at. In the beginning, I used to tell people, hey, try this. If you like it, great. If you don't, tell me what you don't like about it. That way I know what I got to do to fix it. Not gonna please everybody, but if you can please the majority, which is good. So I had to learn that, and then once I learned that, then it got easier. And I also had to learn not to be afraid to fail because you're not gonna win everything. You're not gonna win every time. I've gone to several pop ups where I've made money. I've gone to several pop ups where I made no money, but I took what was great about not making money was the exposure and being able to get clients and clientele and customers. So I'm still winning in a sense because though they may not have purchased anything, but if they like my presentation and they like the information that I'm giving them, then I can reach out to these people later on and say, hey, what you think? Or they'll call me and say, hey, you still doing this? I'm having a function over here this week, or I got a corporate lunch going on this month. Interested in your stuff. So there you go. So what's the old saying? No may not always mean no. Literally, it may just mean not right now. So just wait. You have to be patient and wait to turn out. And like I said, I've been doing this 5 years, and though I'm not where I want to be, I'm grateful for where I'm at because I could still be just back to square one, just trying to get bottles and pass out. But now I'm doing pop ups. Now I have folks calling me wanting me to post up at their spot or a party or like I said, a corporate lunch event or just an individual order or cookout or something like a pop up with you and Tati do. And shout out to y'all too because y'all do a great job bringing the community together and in times where we need to really get um, people who are not only starting small businesses but have been doing it for a while and a lot of people don't know what they're doing. So it's good for you guys to have events and have podcasts and have interviews where we can know who we have locally, and they say, hey, these people, you may be looking for insurance or people may be looking for lemonade or food or just anything, and we have people in the city in the community that's doing it, but you may not know who they are because they'll have a platform where they can show their stuff. So big ups to y'all for doing that. I think I got. I missed that last part. I think your mic cut off. Uh, there we go. I hear you now.
Oh, okay. Wow, I said a lot. I hopefully
It
I
was
don't
in and out. I sort of kind of got it, and then it like would bleep out. Then I got some more, and it bleep out. So
I don't know what's going on with my audio today. I apologize. But I'll recap because I kind of fumbled through the question anyway. But the question was, do you have a brand? Like me personally, I create content and I'm a brand consultant. And a
mhm.
lot of times whenever I'm, especially if I'm helping a brand start their business from scratch, I always like to ask them, do they have like a brand that they aspire to be like? Not copy the brand, but
Mhm.
like a brand that they would like to reach the status of, that they like, they might like the logo and the tagline and the spokesperson. Like, do you have um any brand like that?
Well, for my line of business, uh, Pepsi, Coca Cola. I look at where they started from and how they were able to grow into this multi-billion-dollar company across the world, not necessarily in the country, but across the world. I mean, you can't go anywhere in the world and not see a Pepsi, Coca Cola logo. So, I'm trying to my long time ultimate goal is to be able to reach that level to where people will go to Europe, Asia, Australia, and they see the little lemon pool hat with the splash, drink till you smile, and they know it's me. So, um, I know I got a lot of work to do to get there, but I know nothing is impossible. So that's kind of where I want to be. You know, um, yeah, I guess that would be my goal.
That's
My
that's
goal, my brand that I would like to be like.
that's a good example, and that's also speaks to that research piece that we talked about. I mean, that's talked about a lot, like in music, right? Like if somebody's an aspiring artist, they say, make sure you study your
Hmm.
craft. And I think that's important in any industry that you're in. So that's great that you mentioned, where they came from, so you can probably learn a lot from their story and their journey and apply it to your particular brand as you're like growing it and building it. And that also speaks to, like you said, nothing is impossible. And um I know we were talking earlier about like moving from word of mouth to like social media,
Yeah,
and it's so crazy how like social media changes by the hour. Like, even,
yeah,
I mean, we might stay on a platform for a little while, but that algorithm can change like 25 times within a day. And
hmm,
then they add this feature and remove that feature. And so it's really important to stay on top of that, but it's good that you're cognizant of that, because social media literally has birthed plenty of millionaires. If you look at
yeah, yeah.
my favorite hot topic right now is TikTok. And I always beat myself up because when you mentioned, I kind of related to you earlier when you mentioned how you wish you would have like jumped on the social media bandwagon earlier.
Hmm.
I have been in this space for a while, and so I've always been into social media, but I do know that I definitely took TikTok as a joke. I never
Hmm.
thought adults would hop onto it, much less business brands.
Yeah,
And I've watched different accounts, whether it be personal brands or even small business owners, literally like blow up because of
hmm,
a certain viral, post that they posted right at the right time with the right
yeah,
hashtags, with the right
yep,
content, with the right lighting.
yep,
So
yep,
yeah, if I could go back in a time machine, I would definitely go back to when TikTok first came out, and I would just like make TikToks, make TikToks, make TikToks
yeah.
all.
Yeah, I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day. I won't mention the name, but she was saying the same thing, and she's in foods, and she's actually a chef. She's a professional chef. But anyway, she was telling me the same thing. She said she's not really computer literate, so she does a lot of her things through her web page and um, Instagram. She knows a little bit about, but like her daughter is all over TikTok, and her daughter was the one who was inspiring her to say, hey, you need to do a TikTok video, do a TikTok video. And she's like, well, I ain't really good at TikTok. So, her daughter's the one that's like pumping her head up to start doing TikTok videos because for the same reason, because you want that exposure and that's what a lot of people own now. So, you can get a high level of viral hits doing it that way. So, I agree. But like the social media thing it's a gamble at the same time. It's fun, but it's also a gamble because you never know what platform's going to die or what's going to be the next one to blow up and what everybody's on. So just kind of stay with the times. But I mean, all good deeds come with hard work. So even with the people who gain popularity off of it, they still work hard. They still have to come up with ideas and post stuff probably every day just to keep their numbers growing. So and that's one of the things that I've been doing with my business is to figure out how to keep the people interested in just with a little bit that I do on Instagram and Facebook, and so they can see and know what I am. So I'm constantly thinking, I'm constantly brainstorming, you know. But again, like I said, I wish I would have did it year one. you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Social media is a job within itself, honestly. But if you can get it down pat, especially if you build that following and then once that following trusts you, you can convert those followers into hopefully paying customers or clients of yours. So, okay, I know we've been talking for a bit, so I promise I won't hold you up too much longer. But speaking of TikTok and time machines, right? And
Mhm.
that made me think of even that that song that blew up. I think it's called Time Machine by the artist Money Long.
Mhm.
So like I shared that I wish I could go back in time and get on TikTok earlier. And you already shared one thing, which was you wish you would have year one hopped on social media. But if you did have a time machine, other than that, what's one other thing that you would go back and maybe change or alter about like along your journey as the lemon pool?
Oh man, a lot. I will if I could go back. If well, let me ask you this: Are we going back to the exact point, or are we going back knowing what we know now? Because
No,
there's different ways you can go.
yeah, no, basically knowing then what you know now. Like you have the knowledge now and you're going back in time. Oh no, we froze. Uh-oh, we froze, y'all.
Page designs, financial coaches, things like that. And if I could get them all together and let them know the idea that I had, and give me a set plan or get us a set plan on what we want to do, yeah, I would have definitely pushed the ball way faster than what I've done. So I think that's my only thing that I would do if I were to go back is to the people that I've reached out to now, reach out to in the beginning.
That's fair enough. I can definitely relate to that as well. Funny enough, one of the services I provide is business plans. But what's funny is I sold several business plans before I had my own business plan. Like I was definitely I would say I've been brand consulting ish since
Mhm.
like 2010, right? But a lot of it was trial and error, so I was just kind of
Yeah.
learning like, charging at a lower premium with the expectation of my clients that hey, I'm operating on a learning curve here. So,
Mhm.
and over time I just kind of figured out what I was good at, what I wasn't good at, and tailored my services from there. But yeah, if I could go back knowing what I knew now, I would definitely make my own self a business plan because what's that another cliche? I love cliches. It's like A business without a plan is a plan to fail.
Yeah,
Something like that. Something
yeah,
to that
yeah.
effect.
You know, it's funny. I met a gentleman. Talented guy. He's here now, but he's from Florida. And we still communicate from time to time. But when I started my business, I was talking to him, and he said the same thing. He was like, you know, he at the time he had been a business consultant and doing business plans for people for about 7 years, but he didn't actually do one for himself until he
Yeah.
was 4 years in. So you know, you're not alone. You
Yeah.
know,
Okay, that's good. That makes me feel better.
yeah.
Uh, but okay, Lemon Pool, I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. As we're wrapping up here, can you please let the people know where they can find you if they would like to either just continue to follow your journey to your first million, or if they want to purchase some lemonade, let them know where they can find you.
Well, like I said, I'm located in Charlotte. I'm in the north part of Charlotte, but I'm usually everywhere in the city. You can catch me anywhere. Follow me on Facebook at the Lemon Pool. Follow me on Instagram by the same name. I take orders on either platform, or you can, uh, if you subscribe to my email list, the Smiles Club membership, through my email, you can order on there. Or if you happen to have one of my business cards, you can always call and reach out. So I take orders anytime, anywhere. I deliver anytime, anywhere. So just give me a rep. So next event I'll be at is um, this weekend. I have an event at the Friends Boys and Girls Club, so I'll be there next week. I believe I'm in South Carolina. The week after that, I'm back here in Charlotte, so at the same spot. So I think y'all got an event coming up too, so I'm about to hit that up at the end of the month. So yeah, just look for me. I'll be around. So and it's getting hot, so I'm pretty sure. You know, like you said, you go to a lot of these events, everybody got food, nobody has drinks. So it's
Right.
getting hot outside, so I'm gonna have something cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely hot. Perfect weather for lemonade. Speaking of also business cards, real quick, um, I just got bought this thing. Have you ever seen one of these before? Hold on, wait. Trying to show it in the camera,
The
but
rich.
yeah, the little. This one is a
Um, I
popple.
have seen that once. Yeah, Popple. Well, you know, I haven't seen the wristband, but I have heard of Popple. As a matter of fact, I think someone mentioned the app to me once before, and it's
Yeah,
supposed to be, you're able to put everything about you on there, like all your social media sites, your email, your website, if you have one, your contact information, all that stuff.
absolutely. I love this thing. I just bought it. I haven't tried it out at any events yet.
Okay.
So I'll likely do a review on my YouTube channel. So like for me, again, this podcast is fairly new. So just again, I'm Tat Goalz, your fave corporatepreneur. I'm a content creator, brand consultant. I have a YouTube channel, and I also have this particular podcast, which the video will be on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and then the audio will be available on everywhere that you might listen to a podcast. But
Okay.
real quick though, so I just tapped it right, and then this comes up. I'm so terrible at this little thing comes up. So then you click on it. I love it so much. Like I was so excited. I can't wait to try it. So like this is my
Okay.
page that I created. I just chose the most important links, which are my link tree, phone number, Cash App, and my Instagram.
Okay.
Because Instagram and TikTok are like the main platforms I'm trying to grow at the moment. Because I have my personal brand, which is Tat Goalz, and then also my business brand, which is Free Goals. But then you have like an option where someone can just simply hit that add button, and then all that
Mhm.
information comes up and they just hit save. Or if they want to exchange contact information um with you, there's a lead generation. So it's like you can click the exchange contact information, and like a little form pops up. Like once they save yours, they can add their name and number, and then it'll give you like a list of leads where you can export that contact
Okay.
to like wherever you're doing your customer relationship management,
Yeah.
whether that's on your website or just old school, keeping the Excel or whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, entrepreneurs join the wave. Because I definitely
That's a good
always,
idea. Yeah.
I always used to carry like boxes of business cards, and then once you print those things, they're printed. So like if you want to change a little thing, now you gotta print a whole nother set. And
Yeah.
so I think this thing was like $20. And
Okay.
there is a pro version where you can make time working just fine for me. So I would
Yeah.
again, they have several and I'm not getting paid for this, you guys. I wish, but just to let you know, this is my like unsolicited feedback. But
Yeah.
this is one brand. They have several, but so far, I really like this one. So, more to come. Make sure you check out my YouTube page soon for the full review on this business card bracelet. I guess I'm gonna call it. But again, Lemon Pool, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being a guest. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. And per usual, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And I hope you have a
Right.
great 24.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
FREEGOALZ.com.
Where you at? Drop a pics in the Addy. Yeah, I'm somewhere in the bag. Okay. They like, hey, where you at? Where you at? Drop a